Hi Aries, here is your love reading for the month of July 2017. I have already pre-shuffled and laid out your cards, so we're going to get straight into the reading. Now, the central issue for the month of July is the Page of Swords in the reverse position. This particular page is often referred to as the Truth card. Somebody trying to get to the truth of a particular situation here. In order to get to the truth, it requires us to ask questions. Now, it may be that you are constantly questioning somebody that you're involved with. But it may also be that within your own thoughts, you're going around and around and around in your own head, trying to find the answers to certain questions. The thing is, when we're going around and around in our own head and coming up with answers to questions, that is our perception. That is what we are thinking. It may not actually be the truth of a situation. And the only way you can get your questions answered is by directly speaking to the person involved. Now, in the recent past, we do have the Judgment card here. Major Arcana number 20. The Judgment card is very much about, yes, an awakening. Coming to a realization. It can talk about trying to gain evidence, trying to it talks about coming to conclusions. And it can talk very much about second chances here. Somebody speaking up, maybe. Somebody having the second chance to be able to do that. Now, it may be that in the very recent past, and by that I'm talking weeks, it may be that a situation arose whereby somebody may have said that they wish to meet with you. Somebody from your past may have returned. Or somebody from your past may have communicated with you and has maybe said that they do wish to meet up with you. And that, if that is the case, is going to give you the opportunity here to get these questions answered. Questions that I think you are not so much asking somebody else, but questions that I think are going around and around within your own mind. In the present situation, we do see you healing from something that's brought a lot of pain to you. We've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. The 10, as we know, is an ending to a situation. In the reverse, these swords are now coming out. They're falling out in order for these wounds to heal. Somebody has let you down in the past. Somebody has brought maybe a lot of psychological pain to you. Has made you feel as though they've completely stabbed you in the back here. Now, it may be that this awakening with the Judgment card is that somebody, as I said, from your past may have approached you. Not so much asking for a second chance, but as I said, maybe offering the opportunity to meet. And it may be that you might be reluctant about meeting this person. Because if in the month of July, and certainly through this month, the last month of June, you have been going through this healing process, by meeting up with this person, it may open these old wounds again. But I think the problem is you're fearful about opening up these old wounds that you've started to heal from. But as I said, there is a lot of questions for you that have been left unanswered. So I think you're very much in two minds here as to which way to go. Now, we've got the Knight of Wands up here in your advice position. If this Knight of Wands is talking about your own energy, then it is talking about a very impulsive and very impatient energy. Maybe you are feeling very impatient in wanting to have these questions answered. But there's an element of restlessness with that Knight of Wands as well. And maybe because you may be feeling restless in terms of meeting this person, as I said, because you're starting to heal from this. And I just think you're very, as I said, you're very impatient and very restless at the moment. You don't know which way to go. You want questions answered, but you don't want these old wounds opened up again. Now, here we do have the Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, this could be that the person we're talking about for you is an earth sign, a Virgo, a Taurus, a Capricorn. The thing I just want to go back to this Knight of Wands quickly actually, is if that Knight of Wands is not talking about you feeling impatient and restless, then it can talk about somebody who you thought was sincere. But it may have turned out not to be the case. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, as I said, it could be talking about the other person here for some of you. Maybe for some of you, this Queen of Pentacles may be who this person is involved with now. If this is an ex-partner that we're talking about, they may very well be involved with this person. If it is not talking about another person, then it's talking again about your energy. And the Queen of Pentacles, she looks for security and commitment. She wants to put roots down. She wants to be in a fully committed relationship. She doesn't want insincerity. She doesn't want somebody that's going to charge into her life and back out of her life. Because that can be an element as well with that Knight of Wands. Somebody that comes in and out of your life. Now we've got the Fool card here. And this is about a new beginning. It is Major Arcana and it is 0. And it's about wanting a new beginning here. But you may not know completely what that new beginning is going to look like. And there may be an element of risk here. There are red flags with the Fool card. And the Fool card, lined up next to the Queen of Pentacles, is looking in that direction, which could very much be indicating that the new beginning that you are wanting is about commitment, is about putting roots down with somebody. Here we have the 8 of Cups. The thing with the 8 of Cups, yes, it can talk about walking away. And it may be in this month of July that you may have to, or you may feel as though you need to emotionally detach yourself at the moment. Because there's something missing there. There's one cup missing. See, the thing with the 8 of Cups, it's about almost being at that point of emotional contentment and happiness. That comes with the 9 of Cups. And you're almost at that point. You see, this man here, yes, you could talk about this man walking away because there is something missing. But it could also be that he's walking away in search of finding this missing cup. So he may not walk away permanently. It may be a temporary situation. One that's going to see a return here. It may be that that one missing component is something within this person. And they may need that time to be able to find that. See, the 8 of Cups is a walking away card. But it's not the Death card. The Death card is the ending, the actual ending of something. The 8 of Cups is about there being something missing. And like I said, maybe needing to go and search for that. Because you're almost at that place of emotional contentment there. See, it could be that this Eight of Cups is talking about how there was almost complete, or the way this person makes you feel, they make you feel almost emotionally complete. But like I said, there's one thing missing here. And that one thing may be about concerning questions that are left unanswered at the moment. It may be that that one component is that complete commitment and putting roots down with this person has not yet materialized. The outcome is the High Priestess. It's number 2 in the Major Arcana. And this talks about a decision that needs to be made. But a decision that you're going to have to use your intuition. Quite often when the High Priestess comes up, it can talk about paying close attention to your dreams. It's about listening to that inner voice. Now, to clarify the High Priestess, we got the Emperor, which is you. This is the card for Aries. It's number 4 in the Major Arcana. And the Emperor is in control here. He takes charge. And it's here really to highlight that this decision that's got to be made here, only you can make this decision. And like I said, you're going to need to use your own intuition here and allow that to be your guide. To clarify the Emperor, I then got the King of Cups. So, for a lot of you, this King of Cups could signal the other person involved here. Which, if that is the case for you, it could be a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. The King of Cups is somebody that is in tune with his emotions. He makes his decisions with his emotions. But he is emotionally well balanced. To further clarify the King of Cups, I then got the 10 of Pentacles. Now, yes, this can talk about the wealth within generations. But it also talks about a relationship between two people that is more long-standing. A relationship with somebody that you haven't just met. Somebody that in some form or another has been in your life for a long period of time. And if you look here, this couple here, you know, they're in conversation with each other. Obviously, we don't know what they're talking about. But this could be here to signal a meeting or a conversation between you and this other person that is going to enable you to get a lot of your questions answered. And then to clarify the 10 of Cups, The last card I got was the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, yes, it can talk about a soulmate connection. But what it talks about a relationship, a love commitment between two people. Yes, it can talk engagement or marriage. But it can also talk about a relationship where there is an equal amount of love, of passion, of friendship, of kindness. A relationship where you both feel truly loved and valued. It's going to play out differently for all of you. For some of you, you may have been involved with this Queen of Pentacles, and then it is possible that maybe a water sign enters your life. But I don't see that to be the case, purely because we do have this Ten of Pentacles here. And this is two people, as I said, that have known each other for, you know, certainly a good length of time. It's not a new relationship. But a decision has to be made here. But I don't think you're going to be able to make the decision until you get these questions answered. And that may very well take place in the month of July. But maybe for some of you, the starting of this will be in July. And the conclusion will come maybe in August or September. You know, this is for the month of July. But the readings can go, you know, 1, 2, possibly 3 months over. You can't always be so specific with the time here. Now, I've used the Romance Oracle card to give further clarification here. And the card you got was Make the Effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And see, the thing is, this Two of Cups does talk about that great love. That kind of love and relationship that we all want to experience. And the fact that it says on here about taking the steps that you are guided to take, to me, just highlights what I said about that High Priestess. About using your intuition, listening to your own gut instinct, you being the Emperor, you taking control, and not sorry, and not allowing anybody else to tell you which way to go. Okay, Aries, that does conclude this reading. If you would like to book a personal reading, then you can find my email address in the description box. Thank you so much for liking, sharing and subscribing. Take care. Bye.